We're fresh off a 5-4 Commodore win here at Gov Fuller Field. The Dores take down the Chatham Anglers tonight for their first victory of the 2022 summer. Carter Bainbridge along with Logan Soforenko here on Closing the Door. And Logan, we just bore witness to win number one for the Dores at the very start of this season, when earlier in this week it didn't look like we knew when that first win was going to come.
Well, you said it on your final call, just like this segment, Closing the Door. You got to find a way to get a win by any means. So you got to give credit to the bullpen. The bats were alive in the early parts of the game. We're going to talk about it a little later. They started going back to their old habits in the late innings, but victory is oh so sweet, Carter.
Oh, so sweet it is, and oh, so sweet the play of a couple Commodore newcomers, that is, specifically third baseman Braden Taylor and first baseman Jacob Walsh. Taylor retired only one time today, finished with a hit and 3 walks. Meanwhile, Walsh with a hit of his own, several walks in this game. More guys on base meant more runs for the Commodores, who came into today as the lowest scoring team on the Cape, but not so anymore.
Yeah, well, the theme today for scoring for both sides were the walks. They capitalized. And you mentioned Braden Taylor. Braden Taylor at TCU is a walks machine. Drew a lot of walks last year on the Cape, and you mentioned it today, he drew 3. So when you talk about the newcomers, that's going to be a theme for not just the Commodores, but for every team on the Cape. It's just a matter of what you do with them in the lineup.
Manager Jeff Trendy shaking the dice with today's lineup with several newcomers since the Commodores' last game on Tuesday, and rolled well. The Dores setting a season high in runs with 5. They look fluid throughout. But also the pitching staff tonight was able to support the offense, in particular bullpen efforts by Levi Wells and Mikey Tepper. Wells 3 innings, 6 strikeouts. Tepper 2 innings and got out of a bases loaded, nobody out jam. Got the hold by keeping the Commodores in the game.
Yeah, you got to give credit to Levi Wells. He did everything right out of the bullpen. Mikey Tepper, you heard it right before we tossed it over to Trey. He said he was a little frustrated that he gave up those runs not being his, but it shows how much of a team player he was. But he did a great job. Even though those runs were allowed, those next couple innings, he did a great job. And they talk about Levi Wells making his season debut, absolutely filthy stuff. And for 2 straight innings, he retired the first batter he faced on 3 pitches via way of the K. So they got to keep it rolling on the pitchers then, because the Chatham Anglers combined struck out 15 times tonight. But the Falmouth Commodores, they started going back to their old ways, striking out 12 combined times on offense.
A lot of strikeouts tonight, but the Commodores do come out on top. They take it 5-4. Joey Ryan, another pitcher out of the Commodore bullpen, finished up with the save, pitched a scoreless 9th inning. So pitching was abound tonight, but it's the Dores who outlast the Chatham Anglers by the final of 5-4. The Dores escape with a 1-run win. This has been Closing the Door, and now we're going to throw it over to our field reporter, Trey Redfield, who has more with Mikey Tepper.
Carter, thanks so much. Trey Redfield joined by Mikey Tepper, pitcher for the Commodores, who got a big hold in the top of the 7th, got out of a big-time jam that led to a Commodore victory, taking down the Anglers by a score of 5-4. And Mikey, you guys are on the board this season. There is no longer a winless team on Cape Cod. The Dores have themselves a win. How does that feel?
It feels good, you know, just like I think the team just needed good chemistry, and we all needed to kind of know each other and get together, but I think they're finally starting to make friends and everything like that, so I think it's going to start coming together for sure.
You guys had that off day yesterday. You come back in here into the Gov and get the W, the first of the season, and we were waiting for it, but now we finally have it, like I said. But that off day, how crucial is it to have one of those?
It's very crucial. I mean, especially for position players, I guess that's like a main thing because they're playing every single day. But, I mean, pitchers pitch once or twice a week unless you're a starter, so it's once a week. So it's definitely very big for position players and pitchers, I guess.
What's it like being a reliever, you know, coming in, have to hold the game and keep it within your, hold, you know, whether you're winning or losing, you got to keep the deficit where it is, you got to keep the lead where it is. What's it like coming in and helping out your starter, and not only the starters, but the bats as well?
You know, it's tough, but it's fun because you have a lot of pressure on you, and I love having pressure on me. I know a lot of people love to have pressure on them, but, I mean, it's different, but it's definitely really fun.
I got to say, you throw gas, 94, 95, 96 miles an hour. When you're lining up to pitch and you see all the radar guns popping up in front of you, what's that like? Do you ever lose a concentration with the glove, or is it always just the glove and you completely forget about the guns, like you're clearing the mechanism?
I really don't see them back there, honestly. I was talking to my parents about that, actually, but, you know, I definitely don't see them back there. It's weird. I just have tunnel vision on the glove, but, yeah, I don't see them.
That's key. Tunnel vision is key, especially when you throw gas like Mikey Tepper. But tomorrow you guys take on the Hyannis Arborhawks. How important is it to get a win? Not only to just get a win, but also get into that winning mindset. 2 straight is an opportunity here at Hyannis tomorrow.
Yeah, it's very important. You need to very important to keep building wins and building success, just getting better every day. So it's very important to win tomorrow.
That's Mikey Tepper, the reliever out of Mississippi State. Mikey, thanks so much for taking the time, my friend. He and the rest of the Commodores are in action tomorrow against Hyannis. Be sure to join us at youtube.com/Falmouth Commodores for our radio broadcast. This is Trey Redfield signing off from Gov Fuller Field.